So let's continue with today's article. Use Artificial Intelligence Act. What are the stipulations mentioned in the new draft document of European Union's AI Act? Why are AI tools often called black boxes? And what are the four risk categories of AI? And how did the popularity of that Chat GPT accelerate and change the process of bringing in regulation of artificial intelligence? So these are the questions arised for the article. Let's find out the answer. So this article has been written by Diksha Munjal. So let's continue with today's article. The story so far. After intense last-minute negotiations in the past few weeks on how to bring general-purpose artificial intelligence system like OpenAI's Chat GPT under the ambit of regulations, members of European Parliament reached a preliminary deal this week on a new draft of European Union's ambitious Artificial Intelligence Act, first drafted 2 years ago. So, with the rise of this GPIs, now European Parliament has decided to regulate this by under the amendment of Artificial Intelligence Act. So that was updated some 2 years ago, last time. So why regulate artificial intelligence? As artificial intelligence technology become omnipresent and their algorithms are more advanced, capable of performing a wide variety of tasks, including voice assistance, recommending music, driving cars, detecting cancers, and even deciding whether you get shortlisted for a job. The risk and uncertainties associated with them have also been ballooned. Many AI tools have essentially black boxes, meaning even those who design them cannot explain what goes inside them to generate a particular output. So complex and unexplainable AI tools have already manifested in wrongful arrest due to AI-enabled facial recognition, discrimination, and societal biases seeping into AI outputs. And most recently, in how chatbots-based large language models LLMs like Generative Pre-trained Transformer GPT-3 and 4 can generate versatile human competitive and genuine looking content which may be inaccurate or copyrighted material. Recently, industry stakeholders, including the Twitter CEO Elon Musk and Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, signed an open letter asking AI labs to stop the training of AI models more powerful than GPT-4 for 6 months, citing potential risk for society and humanity. So recently, Twitter CEO Elon Musk and Apple co-founder Steve has written a letter to AI labs to stop the trainings for GPT. What no, they are training them on language models. Powerful AI systems should be developed only once we are confident and that their effects will be positive and their risk will be manageable. The letter said it urged the global policymakers to dramatically accelerate the development of robust AI governance system. So whatever they are doing, so they don't know the side effects of that. So until and unless they don't estimate the side effects. So they should not work on these parts like training, giving a training to language model, to chatbots, to how to write a content and how to produce a content for human. So how was the AI Act formed? So now let's look at the history of AI Act. The legislation was drafted in 2021 with the aim of bringing transparency, trust and accountability to AI and creating a framework to mitigate risk to the safety, health, fundamental rights and democratic values of the EU. So it was first drafted in 2021, and what was the motto? Motto was that to bring transparency, trust, accountability to AI, and to mitigate risks to the safety and health. Okay. It also aims to address ethical questions and implementation challenges in various sectors ranging from healthcare and education to financial and energy. The legislation seeks to strike a balance between promoting the uptake of AI while mitigating or preventing harms associated with the certain uses of technology. So, why was the legislature was done to reduce the harmful effects of AI, so that this technology, the innovative technology, will not be go in the bad hands of the people. Uh, Similar to how the EU's 2018 General Data Protection Regular Act made it an industry leader in the global data protection design. The AI law aims to strengthen Europe's position as a global hub of excellence in AI from the lab to the market and ensure that AI in Europe respects the 27 countries' blocks, values, and rules. So, what does the drafted document entail? The draft of the AI Act broadly defines AI as software that is developed with one or more of the techniques that can, for a given set of human defined objectives, generate outputs such as content, predictions, recommendations, or decisions influencing the environments they interact with. It identifies AI tools based on machine learning and deep learning knowledge as well as logic based and statistical approaches. So these are the, you can say that author is writing about the means what are the miracles that is being done by the AI in the past few years. The Act's central approach is the classification of AI based on the level of risk they pose to the health and safety of fundamental rights of a person. There are four risk categories in the Act: unacceptable, high, limited, and minimal. So there are four risk categories that has been mentioned in the Act. First is unacceptable, that is what cannot be acceptable by the high, limited, and minimal. The Act prohibits using technology in unacceptable risk category with little exception. Uh, so there is a unacceptable risk category where the technology has been abandoned. So these include the use of real-time face and biometric identification system in public spaces. So yeah, so what are they include the real-time facial and biometrics identification system. A system of scoring citizens by government leading to unjustified and disproportionate detrimental treatment. Subliminal techniques to distort a person's behavior and technologies which can exploit vulnerabilities of the young or elderly or persons with disabilities. So these are the technologies that has been prohibited in the Act. So you can't develop such kind of technology related to all such what has been mentioned here. The Act lays substantial focus on AI in the high risk category, prescribing a number of pre and post market requirements for developers and users for such system. Some systems falling under this category include biometric identification and categorization of natural person, AI used in healthcare, uh, employment, law enforcement, justice delivery systems, and that tools that provide access to essential private and public services, including access to financial services such as loan and group system. The Act envisages establishing an EU-wide database of high-risk AI systems and setting parameters so that future technologies are those under the development that can be included if they meet at high risk criteria. So these are the technologies that can meet the high risk criteria. Before high risk AI system, can make it to the market, they will be subject to strict reviews known in the Act as conformity assessments. Algorithmic impact assessment to analyze data sets fed to AI tools, biases, how users interact with the system, and overall designs and monitoring of system outputs. What are the technologies that come under this category, high risk category? Whenever they are subject to for commercial purpose, so they have to take some kind of means some inquiry checkup that is known as conformity assessment, and that is done by the particular country's department, whoever regulates such kind of act. It is also requires systems to be transparent, explainable, allow human oversight, and give clear and adequate information to the user. Moreover, since AI algorithms are specifically designed to evolve over time, high-risk system must also comply with mandatory post-market monitoring obligations such as logging performance data and maintaining continuous compilation, with a special attention paid to the how this program changes with their lifetime. So AI system in the limited and minimal risk categories such as spam filters or video GMs are allowed to be used with a few requirements like transparency or obligations. So you can go all those 3 4 paragraphs. That is what are the uh, act that has been mentioned and what are the content that has been provided in the act. That 4 categories it has been mentioned that unacceptable, high, limited, and minimal. And what kind of technologies are involved in such kind of has been fitted with these categories. So what is the recent proposal on general purpose AI like Chat GPT? So this is a very new artificial intelligence app, Chat GPT. You might have heard it is in recent news. So as recently as February this year, general purpose AI such as the language model based Chat GPT used a plethora model based so used for a plethora of tasks for from summarizing the concept on internet to serving up poems, news reports, and even Colombian court judgment did not feature in EU lawmakers plan for regulating AI technologies. So what are now So what has been done by the Chat GPT? What they are doing that that it is a chat bot. Basically, it is just a chat bot which summarize the concepts of internet, serving up poems. So whatever the news, poems, and reports has been given, even the judgment, they can summarize it, and they can give their own conclusion. Okay, the blog's 108-page proposal for the AI Act, published 2 years earlier, included only one mention of the word chatbot. By mid-April, however, members of the European Parliament were racing to update those rules to catch up with the explosion of interest in generative AI, which has provoked awe and anxiety since OpenAI unveiled the ChatGPT 6 months ago. Now they wanted to do some kind of changes in their in this 108 page that has been included the word chatbot and how they can be regulated, and they wanted to update that. So lawmakers now target the use of copyrighted material by companies deploying generative AI tools such as OpenAI's ChatGPT or image generator Midjourney, as these tools train themselves from large set of text and visual data on the internet. They will have to disclose any copyrighted material used to develop their system. While the current draft does not clarify the obligation, GPIs manufacturers would be subject to lawmakers and also debating whether all forms of GPIs should be designated at high risk. The draft could be amended multiple times before it actually comes into force. So lawmakers wanted to see whether they are hiding something like these OpenAI ChatGPT or image generator Midjourney, whether they are whether they are actually copywriting material, using copyrighted material that has been prohibited across the world. So they wanted to see whether they are using copyrighted material or not. Maybe they can give some it kinds of they can give some kind of provision to make such a kind of amendment or act be more strict to be more strict so that but I think it will also hamper some kind of innovations. So let's continue with the article. How has the AI industry reacted? So while some industry players have welcomed this legislation, others have warned that broad and strict rules could stifle innovation. Companies have also raised concerns about transparency requirements, featuring that it could mean divulging secrets. Explainability requirements in the laws have caused unease as it often is not possible for even developers to explain the functioning of algorithms. So the algorithm is so much complex that even developers what they write in the code, they are not even able to explain it in a proper way. So lawmakers and consumers groups on other hand have criticized it for not fully addressing risk for AI system. The act also delegates the process of standardization of AI technologies to the use expert standard setting bodies in specific sectors. A Carnegie Endowment paper points out, however, that the standard process has historically been driven by industry, and it will be a challenge to ensure government and the public have a meaningful seat at the table. Where does the global AI governance currently stand? Okay, now this is talking about global, how AI has been regulated globally. So the rapidly evolving piece of AI development has led to diverging global views on how to regulate these technologies. The US currently does not have a comprehensive AI regulation and has taken a fairly hands-off approach. So the US does not have any kind of comprehensive AI regulation act, but they are working on that part. The Biden administration released a blueprint for an AI Bill of Rights (AIBOR), developed by the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy (OSTP). The AIBOR outlines the harms of AI to economic and civil rights and lays down 5 principles for mitigating these harms. The blueprint, instead of horizontal approach like the EU, endorses a sector-specific approach to AI governments with policy interventions for individual sectors such as health, labor and education, leaving it to the sector federal agencies to come out with their plans. The AI Bureau has described by the administration as a guidance or a handbook rather than binding legislation. There is a two different. The author has pointed out the differences between the Act of EU Act on the artificial intelligence and the US Act on the artificial intelligence. So basically, in EU, we have seen that every technology has been governed according to their in which commercially purpose in which commercially they have been purposely driven. For example, if they are using in health or health sector, so there will be different regulation and they have to be regulated in a different way. That technology will be looked after in a different way. But in US the policy has been designed in such a way that there will be a handbook or means it will cover up overall rules, and it is not specifically related to such kind of industry that if this technology is used in this industry, then we have to this will be regulated in a different way. So but overall regulation will be there in a handbook, so they are not specifically industrial driven regulation act. On the other hand, end of the spectrum, China over the last year came out with some of the world's first nationally binding regulations targeting specific types of algorithm and AI. It enacted laws to regulate recommendations algorithm with a focus on how they disseminate information. China's Cyberspace Administration of China, which drafted the rules, told the companies to promote positive energy, to not endanger national security or the social public interest, and to give an explanation when they harm the legitimate interest of users. So China's is has also having a their regulation on China is also controlling regulating its artificial intelligence by the Cyberspace Administration of China. So this is the governmental body which regulate the artificial intelligence technology in China. So when they have another piece of legislation targets deep synthesis technologies used to generate deepfakes. In order to have transparency and understand how algorithms function, China's AI Regulation Authority has also created a registry or database of data algorithm where developers have to register their algorithm, information about the data sets used by them and potential security risk. So they have developed such a system that whenever developers develop any kind of technology or app, they have to register all their codes in such a database so that they can be checked or they can be introspected by the this department, Cyberspace Administration of China. So this is the today's article. I think it is a very big article. Anyway, I have covered it, but in between those lines, I was quite fast. So sorry for that. But okay. So thank you.